I have said this at least 7 times leading up to E3, and during E3 I must have said this at least 15 times, so I'm sorry if you're sick of hearing these words come from my mouth, but this is going to be the best E3 we've ever had. And my reasoning for that, among so many things, was because every single company, developer, publisher, whatever, at E3 this year is bringing their heavy hitters, is bringing their biggest franchises, either new games or additions to their games. Sequels to some of the most beloved games in the gaming industry over the last 25, 30 years. Smash Brothers, Metroid, Gears of War, Last of Us, just to name a few, and now a new Elder Scrolls game and a new Fallout game. Both announced in the Bethesda press conference that was just held, as well as a new Doom game, games coming to the Switch, games that were released during the event. In my opinion, another 10 out of 10 event. Now I know there was an exorbitant amount of cringe in this event, not to mention a bunch of lulls when we had to put up with people talking for way too long before we actually saw the trailers to the games that we wanted to see. I'm aware of that, but Bethesda doesn't have as many games to show as Microsoft does. They are just one publisher. They do the best they can. They have what they have to show, and they have to stretch it out over a 2-hour event. So you're gonna see more talking. You're gonna have to put up with some of that, but it's well worth it to get to those games. And let's be honest, the cringe is the best part of E3 anyway, and they certainly delivered cringe.
Well, thank you, Tim.
Let's talk about everything Bethesda showed us and why it was so freaking awesome. They showed us Rage 2, and also Bethesda had so many jokes. This whole thing was riddled full of jokes.
We're starting with a game that we announced a few weeks ago through our friends at Walmart Canada, perhaps best known for their low prices and ability to keep a secret.
I was literally laughing during the stream. Oh, and I know I'm getting way ahead of myself, but they announced Skyrim for Alexa, as well as a bunch of other things like personal pages, which was obviously a skit and a joke and a parody on themselves, but this event was definitely, for every moment of cringe, there was a moment of hilarity.
Alexa, play Skyrim.
You're level 57 and see a tall snowy mountain.
Climb it.
But yes, Rage 2, which looks like a souped up Mad Max version of a Doom game, super fast paced with some Far Cry elements, a crazy high octane looking game that I can't wait to play. I really enjoyed the first Rage. It was almost a hidden gem. I would consider it a hidden gem of a game that I never thought they'd do a sequel of, and I was very surprised to hear Walmart announce that a few weeks ago. A sequel to Doom, the reboot that we got in 2016 called Doom Eternal. We only saw a cinematic trailer, no gameplay of that, but it did look really awesome. It was literal hell on earth, and I can't wait to play that game. I really enjoyed Doom. Elder Scrolls Legends, I don't have too much interest in this. It's a card game, but it is launching on Switch, and I do like that. I'll take anything on Switch. Just give me that third-party support. Most of this event was actually first-person shooters. It actually made me realize how many first-person shooter IPs that Bethesda has right now. Doom, Rage 2, Prey, Quake, Wolfenstein. And when all those things were back to back to back, it was like, wow, this is actually a lot of first-person shooters. But then we finally got to Fallout 76. I don't know how I feel about this as of right now. I'm not gonna lie, I am excited. They gave us a release date of November, but I don't feel excited to play a Fallout game. I feel excited to get in a world with my friends and hunt and scavenge and then find other people in the game that are enemies and release nukes on them and blow up their entire civilization and then raid what's left. I'm excited for something that isn't quite Fallout. I haven't played the game, so I won't pass judgment on it just yet, but just adding a multiplayer feature to a game like this, it does completely shape the game. It changes it. It gives it a different feel. It's not that Fallout sense of you are alone, you have gone to this shelter, the entire world has been wiped out, and you are literally on your own trying to survive in this world. It is a single player experience like Skyrim. And now you have this online feature, and you can play it offline. They said a couple times you can play it offline just like you're used to, but they also said it's easier to play online and have your friends help you. Now, when it comes to online games, sometimes, and I have more faith in Bethesda to do this justice, but a game like Assassin's Creed Unity, which was built around around a multiplayer co-op feature where you can play with friends, I can't help but play it in single player and notice all these things that I can interact with if I had more people. I can see things that were physically built in the game to be based around multiplayer. Feel like I'm missing out. So I'm gonna wanna play online to maximize all the features of the game, to have that experience that they built the game around, that you know they built the game around, and it is gonna change that feeling of what is a Fallout game. However, I am excited for that. I'm excited to play that, and I know people are going to have mixed reactions on it. Fortunately, I'm not a die-hard Fallout fan. I'm not obsessed with the series to the point where something like this can ruin it for me, but I did see a lot of people have a problem with it in my live stream and the actual live stream I was watching. But I'm definitely going to dive into the world. Absolutely 100%. There's no doubt in my mind that I'm not going to buy this game and have a lot of fun with it with my friends. It just might not be the same experience I had with Fallout 4. Fallout Shelter. A few years ago at E3, they announced this game and it was available the same day. Well, they did a very similar thing this time with releasing it on Switch as well as PlayStation 4, and they are available right now. So that's pretty cool. It is actually a really enjoyable game. It's not for everyone, and it's definitely a time waster kind of game, but it is really in-depth and actually a lot of fun to play. Prey and Wolfenstein both got DLC. The Prey DLC, I didn't quite catch all of it. There was a lot of things going on in Prey, like a new mode, and there's even a VR mode coming. I still am yet to sit through and play all of Prey, so I was a little bit lost as to what it was that's coming, but there is a lot of DLC for Prey if you're interested. And then the Wolfenstein DLC, that really got me because I loved Wolfenstein, and it's an amazing game, and the DLC is based in the future. You play as his children, 2 sisters, and you can actually play it co-op as well, and I'm really excited for that too. I love co-op experiences wherever possible. It's why I am actually quite excited for Fallout 76, because co-op experiences and enjoying a game in multiplayer, I do really enjoy that. I do have a lot of fun with that as much as I do single player. So for me, it's like, this is my single player game, don't make it multiplayer, but at the same time, okay, I'll play multiplayer. And it's the same thing with Wolfenstein. I'll play it multiplayer and I'll have fun. They announced a new IP, Starfield, their first new IP in 25 years, which is crazy. And it's in space, and we know nothing about it. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say it's probably similar to a Skyrim kind of game, maybe. Probably not a first-person shooter, but in space. I would be interested to see if it's similar to Mass Effect. I would love a new Mass Effect kind of game because those games were so great. And so that was the Bethesda event. And I know if you sat there watching it online or with me or whatever, that 2-hour event and those announcements, it did seem to drag out because there was a lot of talking. But again, they only have so many games and they had to stretch it out. But if you actually take what they showed, what they announced, what they brought to us, it was the best they could have done. Their biggest franchises, everything they have has something coming out for it. You know, Wolfenstein has DLC. There's a new Doom game, a new Fallout game, a new Skyrim game, even a brand new IP. And while a lot of those newer games only had cinematic trailers and we don't know when they're coming out yet, we haven't seen that much of it, it was just awesome to hear them announced, to have all of that crammed in. And we did see a lot of Fallout 76, which is coming again in November, as well as all that DLC, which is coming to all the games we already love very soon. So far, both Xbox and Bethesda have lived up to my expectations and honestly exceeded them a little bit. I didn't expect to hear anything about a new Skyrim game. I didn't expect to see that much Switch support. It's great. It's great seeing these companies come out in full force. This year is going to be epic. And again, Sony is bringing out their heaviest hitters. They have a new Last of Us game. They have a couple new IPs on the horizon. And then you have Nintendo with some of their best IPs. It's going to be a great year. As Square Enix starts in like 13 hours from now. This whole weekend, I'm so drained. I've done 5 hours of live streaming today. I filmed that Microsoft video. I edited that. Now I'm filming this. I'm editing this. I'm so exhausted. I'm literally going to crash in bed once this is done. Wake up and do it all again tomorrow. It's even going to be crazier tomorrow because there's Square Enix, Sony, and Ubisoft pretty much all back to back, and I've somehow got to film videos for all of those. Please like this video and subscribe. Thank you for watching all my E3 updates. I love E3. It's literally Christmas for me. I am so excited that I have a platform this year that's large enough that I can cover it in the way that I'm covering it. I never thought 5 years ago when I was at home watching this on my couch and just talking to my friends about it at work the next day that I would have a platform like this to be able to gush and share a bit. Anyway, guys, I appreciate it so much. And if you're watching the streams, I love you guys so much. Just thank you for being here, watching these videos, and being awesome. Like this video, subscribe. Thanks to the Patreons. Thanks for all the donations and the live streams. And just thank you for being you. I'm going to go edit this. I'm surprised I had this much energy. I'm dead.
Well, thank you, Tim.